Hello, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for hopping on. Whether you're practicing live with us right now, we'll give people a minute or so to get on. But I'm so grateful for those of you, whenever you practice, whenever you take the time to practice, especially doing this kind of practice, these yoga as healing practices. They are so much needed right now. And we have a really special class today. We're going to be focusing a bit on some compassion. And last week when I did the yoga as healing, there's a trust meditation at the end. And today we are going to do a brief compassion meditation. So stick around for that. It'll come at the end. And those of you that'll practice after the fact, I'll kind of tag where that practice is. So it may go a little over today, as I tend to do, but I want to make sure we have time to do the meditation practice at the end, because there's all different ways that we can start to change the world right now. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we get going. Kathy, can you hear me okay? So today I encourage you to have a towel or blanket. If you have a yoga blanket, that would be great. Block and strap if you like. I find a block really helpful a lot of times. Strap, same. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not, but just maybe having those props sort of in your area off to the side. So, hello. Somebody give me a heart or some. Yes, okay. There's such a lag between when I ask and I think how fast you all probably type and then it actually coming through. So, good. All right. So those of you, thank you, Becky and Kathy, my sound checkers. Yes, our practice theme. Good. So Becky and anybody hopping on, blanket or towel will work just fine, like a big beach towel, shower towel, that kind of thing, and then a strap or a block if you want them. All right, I'm going to turn this around. Here we go. Let me get my props. And we're going to start seated. So I always give myself a little bit of height. Thank you for taking this time to do these practices, especially in the summer as it gets hot. I know we still want to work out and work hard, but you guys, these practices more healing and helpful than probably just about anything right now. Right before I got on today, I was watching an interview, the speech from George Floyd's brother, Terrence, and it's so passionate. He could barely walk across to where he needed to go to where the memorial was, but then all of a sudden it was like something came through him, whether it's his brother or his dad, who had both passed on, and he just was like, "What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? This isn't going to change anything." And it was so passionate. And Maya Angelou, as I said in the theme today, she says, "Do the best you can." Can you hear Maya? I sound nothing like Maya, but just do the best you can until you know better. And when you know better, do better. You guys, I don't want anybody to have to lose a life for us to do better. But thank you, George, for just helping become this radiant light for all of us to change, to become more aware, to become more educated. And I feel like I'm in this space where, you guys, I feel oblivious in the sense, like prior to this, of just really what's going on. And I got to give a shout out to my friend Alex Riggs, who's been doing these series on Instagrams with different people, and she was sharing one night with her cousin about her cousin is 16, and he was talking about, he remembers his parents having a conversation with him about, if you have a hoodie on, that you always take the hood off and you take your hands out of your pockets. You guys, I never thought to teach my boy anything like that if he was ever around a cop. And so just, those things that you don't even really think about. And the part that I try to kind of pull in the yoga teachings for myself is trying to drop all these labels. It's the paradox of like, drop all these labels. It's not I'm white or black or this religion or that religion. It's like none of that. I want to just drop it all. And we are just humans, right? We're just people. And yet at the same time, embracing all the diversity, because it's what makes every single one of us so special and what makes the world tick in a way that is beautiful and unpredictable and all the things. So that's kind of what's circulating around. And right now, I just feel like Maya is speaking to all of us that this is the time that we now are knowing better, and it's time to do better. And if you have suggestions or resources or ways that people can take action, I want you to put it in the comments below, because I feel like there's so much circulating now that now maybe this is the resource somebody lands on and they don't know where to go and they want to do something. So if you have a great suggestion, please put it below for the rest of us. We're going to end with a compassion meditation. It's going to be really special. And you know, if you don't have time to go all the way through today, please go back and I'll tag where it is once we finish, and so you can use it again and again and again. Okay, so you know, animals shake it off when, like, that's how I feel right now. Just okay, so here we go. We're started seating. Maybe you switch the cross of your legs because we've already been sitting that way for a little bit. And close your eyes. I truly believe none of us were born to judge. None of us were born to compare, to think that we were better than somebody else. It's all learned. And so part of our time on this earth is sometimes unlearning and relearning and learning again and again. And we will forget and we will remember, and we will forget, and then something will happen and we remember. It's part of being human. I don't want to get it all right. I'd rather fail forward and keep moving forward. Let's start with a little bit of pranayama. We're going to do a box breath, okay, just to get us centered. So it's in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, okay? Before we set the intention. Here we go. Inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Again, keep going. Now if this feels like too long, then go shorter. You can do 3s, okay, or even 2s. And if it makes you feel anxious, then I want you just to breathe normal. The top of the inhale, feel energy rising into the heart space. And feel as though there perhaps is a light that's radiating from the heart space outward, beyond your physical body. Let's do one more. Full cycle. Full cycle is when you've finished the hold after the exhale. So do one more cycle, and when you finish, now let's bring the hands to the heart. Take a moment and set an intention. And then slowly let your chin bow down towards your chest. Let your hands come down onto your legs. Inhale, lift your chin, open your eyes. Good. Let's take the shoulders up towards the ears as you inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale, take the shoulders back and down. And then hold the breath out a little bit. So we're doing a box breath, but we're doing it with movement. So you're going to inhale, shoulders towards ears, pause the breath. It doesn't need to be a whole 4 counts. Exhale, release the shoulders back and down, and then hold it out, feeling as though the heart is just elevating a little bit. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Take your right arm on top of your left arm. Hold opposite hands to opposite shoulders, and just draw the shoulders down a little bit. It's actually, studies show that actually giving ourselves a hug, especially in this quarantine time, those folks that are alone, but even if we do get hugs, the power of just our own gesture of love toward ourselves. Let those rhomboids, muscles that hold the shoulder blades, let's switch the hands on the back, feel them stretching out here a little bit. Feel the upper trapezius at the top of the shoulder releasing down. Do the best you can as you practice. And then, when you know better, do better. So every time we step on the mat, there's that chance. We're going to cactus the arms. Inhale, open the chest. Good. Exhale, bring your forearms together and round your back. Sit back a little bit more. Feel your tailbone, feel like it's almost tucking a little bit. Inhale, open. Cactus the arms. Exhale, round. One more time, breathe in. Exhale. Very good. I'm not sure which shin you have in front. Doesn't really matter, but just go ahead and take the shin that's in front. Mine is my right one, so I'm going to take that out. So I'm still sitting on my blanket. You could also just sit on your heel. We're taking a Shiva squat. I'm just going to stay on the blanket because it's comfortable. Right arm against right shin. Left arm reaches up and over. Use your right arm against your right leg, letting that groin open a little bit, and resist a little of the leg into the arm. You don't have to overwork, but enough that you feel a balance between the two. And then let your top arm come down, fold in a little bit deeper. Top fingertips can come towards the floor. Keep hugging that right knee in towards your right armpit. Resist with the right arm against the leg. Reach the left arm back towards the sky. Reach it behind you. Good. You're going to push into that right foot and just pick the hips up a little bit. Just opening up the heart, right? Inhale. Good. Exhale. Set it back down. Good. Switch the foot. Left arm against the left leg. Inhale. Reach it up. You can always sit on a block here if a blanket's not tall enough for you. And then coil down. Exhale. Every time my back body, your back body feels a sense of expansion, it reminds me just to trust things a little bit more. Trust in what isn't seen, because if you've never really thought about it, we've never seen, other than a reflection, our own back, right? And so it reminds us, okay, that variation of kind of a gate pose. You're going to come onto your right shin. You're going to try to keep your knee with the foot that's on the floor. Keep moving it to that side. So if it's your left foot leg, move your left knee to the left. If it's your right, move it to the right. Good. And then exhale, set it all back down. Very good. Now Malasana Yogi Squat. Can we believe what is unseen? Can we believe in a space someday where we're doing really a lot better in this arena? Good. And then forward fold, hands to the ground. You're going to spin your heels out. Now, if your hamstrings are feeling tight, just grab that block, place it underneath your legs, or underneath your shoulders, Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, go ahead and fold. I'm using the block, so I'm going to let my forearms on the tallest height just rest on that block. And as you're in this forward bend, take a moment and bend your right knee. Keep your left leg as straight as you can. Take the upper inner thighs back, especially on the left leg. And then switch. Bend your left knee, straighten your right leg. Good. Both legs go straight and hands come back underneath the shoulders. Inhale, stretch your spine forward. Exhale, micro bend your knees. Place your hands to your hips. Lift your shoulder heads up towards the sky. Bring your belly button to your spine. And inhale, rise. Come up with a flat back. Good. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. If you're not at the top of your mat, go ahead, step yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, take your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, lengthen your heart. Keep your right foot forward and step your left foot back. You're going to come to a warrior one. Walk your hands up your front leg. Take it easy, okay? Now, typically in Vera 1, the shoulders are a little more over the hips. It's asymmetrical, back leg is behind us. I want you just to put your hands on the rib cage up here and stay upright for a minute and really noticing in your thumbs, kind of the back rib cage area. And that if you hinge forward, do you feel how those muscles start to wake up a little bit? You don't have to go too far, it's just a little bit where you feel them wake up. Good. Stay there. Take your gaze towards the horizon. Keep your shoulder heads back and bring your hands to your heart. One of the things George's brother asked for was love. It was really peace. So we're going to start from the heart space. I want you to inhale, open your arms out to the side like wings, and then straighten that front leg and bring your hands back. It always comes back to us. Leaning forward, reach out, arms go wide. Exhale, hands to heart. Now find your drishti, find your spot where you're focusing on. Inhale, reach. Exhale. So it's that leaning in, not always comfortable, right? Inhale, especially when life is challenging. Exhale. Inhale. But there's always something inside of us that tells us right from wrong, really. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, stay here. Bring your hands to your heart. And just take 2 deep breaths. Now as your gaze down, I want you to lift it back to the horizon. You might notice those back muscles wake up a little bit. Good. Now straighten the front leg. Push the arms to the sky. And exhale, turn all 10 toes so they're facing the long edge of your mat. Arms open wide. Spin your heels in and your toes out. Good. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the knees and sweep down towards the floor. Inhale, reach up. Whoa. Exhale, little balance. Inhale, reach. I love those days when both feet are flat on the floor and I'm still off balance. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, last time. Exhale. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Take your right foot, turn it in so it's angled at a 45-degree angle. Left toes are going to turn out. And we're going to repeat second side. Bend the left knee, warrior one. Roll the shoulder heads back. Fix your gaze on the horizon. And bring your hands to your heart. Lean, heart forward. Maybe take the hands to the rib cage. Find that point that when you hinge, the back body wakes up here a little bit. Good. And then open the arms out wide. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Keep the back leg strong and straight. Inhale, reach open. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. This time when you go forward, you're going to stay. Inhale. Keep your gaze at the horizon, hands to your heart. Keep pushing into your front foot, your front heel. Hug it towards your back foot and lift your back inner thigh towards the sky a little bit more. Draw your tailbone towards your back right heel for 3, 2. Arms reach overhead. Front leg straightens. 1. Inhale. Exhale. Open the arms. Heels in, toes out. Hands into your heart space. Goddess squat. Reach your arms out wide. Inhale. Exhale, hug in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, breathe in. Exhale. Reach the arms up, breathe in. Exhale, turn all 10 toes now so they're facing the the long edges of your mat. And exhale, forward fold. Again, you can grab that block if you want it. Relax your head and neck. Shift your weight a little bit more toward the balls of your feet. Thank you to all of the peaceful protesters that have been there. I have friends that have really been sharing the shift that's happened in the last few days. It's been beautiful to watch. Can you feel in your own body as you practice right now, not only the peace maybe that's circulating in your own breath, but can you extend that warmth, that love, that compassion to all beings everywhere? Inhale, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, right toes turn back to the top of your mat. We're going to step forward, push off that back leg, step it forward. Uttanasana. Feet can still stay about sitting bone distance apart. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And now our right leg's going to step back. Our left leg's the forward leg. Right knee is going to go down to the ground. Okay, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, low lunge. Sweep the arms up towards the sky. Good. We're going to keep coming back to the heart a lot here today. So I want you to bring your hands in towards your heart space. Draw the head of the shoulders back. Lift through the sternum. Across the collarbones. Feel a sense of being a little more expansive. Draw your tailbone down. Lift up from the low belly. And then reach the arms up. You can keep the palms together. If your shoulders are tight, just let them come apart. And then exhale, bring it back to the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back to the heart. So I'm kind of, you can see, backing off a little in the lunge. I go a little deeper as I inhale, reaching up. Exhale. One more time, yogis. Inhale. Now, if you can, stay here. Bend the elbows. Rest your thumbs at the nape of the neck. And you can, in my own body, I can feel wanting to go deeper, and then my body's limits and a little quiver as it has to work. So you're balancing all of that. Good. Now back off your lunge. Reach your arms up to the sky. Inhale. Hands to the ground. Take a half split. You're going to straighten that front leg and flex your front toes. Now for here, I want you, if you need to bend that front knee and get a little bit more length in your spine. If your hamstring's nice and open, you'll be able to do that with a straight leg. If you're tighter here, I want you to bend the knee. Try to send the groins back at the spine a little straighter. And if you can keep that, then go ahead and straighten that front leg. Flex your toes. Push through the ball of your front foot and your inner heel, and feel like the pinky side of your foot, there's a bootstrap. You're pulling back from the pinky side of your foot towards your outer right hip so the pelvis stays more neutral. Take one more breath. Bend back into your lunge. Inhale. Good. Lift the back knee. All 10 toes are going to circulate. We're going to go back around to the other side of the mat. So you're facing the back of your mat now. Anjaneyasana. Inhale, low lunge. Arms reach up. Hands are going to come in towards your heart space. Push into that front heel. Hug your inner thighs together. Feel a sense of coming towards the midline with the whole body. Shoulder heads wrap up, back, and down. And then inhale. Reach the arms up. Keep the tailbone dropping down. Exhale. Hands draw back to heart space. Inhale. Exhale. So even as the arms go in the overhead plane, there's a connection of the shoulder blades staying on the back. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. You're going to stay. Bend the elbows. Rest the thumbs to the nape of the neck. Squeeze the elbows in so they're shoulder height. Tone the glute right where the hamstring and the glute meet on the left side. Keep pushing into that front heel. Lift the low belly up off that front thigh a little bit more and lean your head back into your hands. I know. I am with you. Good. Reach the arms up. Exhale. Hands to the ground. Tuck your back toes. Half split. Almost forgot that. Just going to walk to the straddle. Ardha Hanuman. Remember, you can bend that front knee. Keep reaching groins back, heart forward. Push through your big toe mound. Take one more breath. Very good. Now bend. Inhale. Good. Lift the back knee. Walk toward a straddle. So all 10 toes again, turning. You're going to start with the hands under the shoulders. Take an inhale. And now bend that right knee. Walk your hands over towards your right leg. Grab somewhere on the outer leg. Outer ankle, calf, wherever feels good. Now, keep your right leg. I want you to start to straighten it a little more, if that's okay in your body. And actually bend your left leg. Bend that left knee. Right leg is now straight. Put a little bend in that left elbow as though you're trying to almost tap the left elbow towards the floor, really waking up that left side body. Good. Now straighten the left leg. Walk your hands under your shoulders. Take a moment, pause, and fold in the center line just so you can observe the difference from left to right. Walking both hands over. I start with that left knee bent just to kind of get the hands positioned. Once they're there, you can let the left leg straighten if it's okay in your body, and you're going to actually bend your right knee. Now, if we're tighter here, the right arm, it probably won't maybe be able to bend, but you can even think about bending it, and you'll increase the stretch a little. So just with your mind, imagine that right elbow bending a little bit towards the floor. If you can actually do it, go ahead and bend that elbow. Keep bending into that right knee. Very nice. Good. Hands walk back to center. Inhale. And one more time, just folding. Take your hands wide maybe so they're more towards your inner calf and shin on your legs. Hands back under the shoulders. Breathe in. Turn your front foot back to the top of your mat. And we're going to step back to down dog now. Now, if you're working with a shoulder injury, you just take the knees down, do puppy pose. Or if you just would like to do puppy pose, do puppy pose. Breath in. Hug your hands in together. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. One more breath in. Release, let it go. Coming forward like a wave, top of a push-up. Inhale, you can always place your knees to the floor. And then let's release to the belly all together. All right, take your hands out so they're, let's scooch back just a little bit. My hands are gonna go onto the corners of my mat. I'm gonna turn my fingers out just a little bit. And then take your feet wide for seal pose. So just start with the forearms down. Elbows are down. My elbows are in a little bit from each wrist. And as you inhale, you have the option to lift the elbows. Inhale. Exhale. Stress. We've all been going through stress in our own way, and the kidneys can really get depleted and lower. So this movement, we're bringing just some gentle compression there into the back body. Now see if you can invite that box breath in. So go up slow, 2, 3, 4. See if you can hold it, 2, 3, 4, and release, 2, 3, 4. Again, hold, 2, 3, 4, and again. Do it one more round if you can. Remember, if it's too much, just breathe normal. Very good. All right, bring the legs in a little closer. Take the elbows out wide, forehead to the floor. We're going to alternate lifting the head and lifting the feet, okay? This isn't a big movement. The legs lifting isn't a big movement, and the head lifting isn't going to be a huge movement. So, yet it'll feel quite intense, so just take it easy. We're going to start with the legs first. So inhale. You can bring your legs hip distance or bring your big toes to touch, and inhale, lift your legs. Pause a little at the top, and then exhale, lower the legs. Now keep your hands connected to your forehead. Try to lift your head up and lift your elbows up. Inhale. This is a little harder part. And lower. Exhale. Now we're going to go back to the legs. Inhale. Lower. If it's too much to keep the hands connected to the forehead, keep the hands on the ground and just lift the head. That's just fine. And lower. Again, legs. Lower. Head, inhale. Lower. One more time, legs. Lower. Head and elbows. And lower. Good. Hands come back next to your rib cage. Hips to heels, child's pose. Now knees can be about hip width apart. You can take them even a little wider. Or if you want more closed, bring your knees together. Walk the arms out. Good. Inhale up, all fours. We're going to come to pigeon pose, yogis. Now, if you're working with a knee injury, you can take this on the back. You're going to do thread the eye of the needle. And I'll show that in just a second, okay? So, right knee just outside that right hip. Or if your knee's sensitive, it may help to bring the knee in line with the hip, okay? You're going to kind of flex the foot so the outer edge of my heel lifts just a little bit. I'm waking up, keeping that ankle joint and knee joint safe. Look back at your left leg. Make sure the left leg is extending back from your left hip. Now, if this position doesn't work, here's thread the eye. You just lay on the back, right ankle hooks above left knee, and your left foot picks up off the floor, okay? All right, stay upright for a moment. If it's helpful, you can bring your right hand just above the knee, kind of on the thigh, and the left hand, not really pushing on the ankle, but just there for support, or even off to the left. Good. Stay with it another breath. And then when you're ready, you can fold. Now, if you have a blanket, and if you like, just let that blanket be a little bit of support for your chest. Oops, I won't lay on that because that'll kind of the microphone. But lay your chest right onto the blanket. If you happen to have bolsters at home, you certainly could use that as well. You could also use a block if the forehead doesn't quite connect to the floor. Grab that block. Now we're going to be here, actually I have a clock, so I'm watching the time. We're going to be here for about 2 minutes, okay? So this is a time, it may get so quiet that you wonder if I'm still here with you. I am still here with you, but I want you to just have time just to be. And there's a prayer I will say to you as you're in this pose, and I'll say it on both sides. It's a poem for just peace, a prayer for peace and light. Love before me. You kind of feel it as I say it. Love before me. Love behind me. Love to my left. Love to my right. Love above me. love below me, love unto me, love in my surroundings, love to all, love to the universe. You have about 30 more seconds. Can you extend your heart a little further forward? And then can you surrender your heart? Can you actually release your heart towards the earth a little more? Very nice, yogis. And then we're going to walk ourselves up, and we're going to come to a double pigeon. We're going to keep going with these hips. You're going to lean a little right, reach back. I'm turning just to face you, but you'll just stay where you are. Left leg is going to cross on top of, mama's tight. Left leg is going to come on top of the right. All right, so a block here, or a blanket, is very helpful to put underneath that knee. Flex your foot. Notice your shins. When I bring the feet in more and the shins are almost angled, it takes some of the intensity out. And so if you need to do that, do that. But otherwise, your shins are parallel to the short front edge of your mat. And then as your feet are flexed, when the back is tight, and if this is just altogether too much, just do Sukhasana with the left shin in front, okay? If you can, put your hands behind you. Your sit bones may not come off the floor, but if you can, if the back is rounding and you can push into your hands, try to send your groins back and then set the pelvis back down so that pelvic tilt comes into play a little bit more. And as you stay in this pose, I just want you to keep repeating, thank you. You don't have to know what for, and you don't have to put anything after it. Can we step into the seat of gratitude for what we have in our life, for what we are learning through our life, for the growth that is happening right now for us, both as individuals, but also as a shared sense of humanity. Those of you that are very flexible, you of course can fold forward. Make sure that knee is down, though, that top knee. A lot of us can work plenty just staying upright. And it may get really uncomfortable here. Yep, you're doing everything right. Can you stay with it? You might even get a little emotional. Some days things come up and they well up, and that's okay. You are safe here. Give yourself permission to feel without having to stuff anything away or off to the side. Very good, yogis. Inhale. Come all the way back up. Whew. Exhale. Oh, nice and slow. Upavishta. Some of us are going to need, again, for that low back to move in and up, we're going to need some height underneath the sitting bones. Just helps that pelvis. We can't quite get that tilt. It just pulls on the back, okay? So you can bend the knees. You can sit up on some height. You can even sit your back up to a wall if you've got one behind you like I do. Flex your feet towards the sky. Yes, and we're going to take a little just side bending movement. So from the heart space, always. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, right hand off to the right. Left arm is going to stretch up and over. Inhale, reach both Right arm to left, inhale. Exhale over to the left. Your pace, your tempo. If you want to invite that box breath back in, that's up to you. One more each side. If this brings tension in your shoulders, having the arms overhead, just do it. Bringing hands to heart. Yep. And then just going side to side. Good. All of us, hands to heart on this one. Inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Now again, being upright, if the low back, if we're tight here, it's perfectly fine. Even having the hands behind you, sit up nice and tall. Let yourself feel like you're dropping into this moment, dropping into your body. Can you move your heart a little more forward? Again, the back will tend to round here. It kind of protects us. Can you melt the back body into the front body and then move the heart space, the front of the heart, a little more forward? And then bring your body back upright. Breathe in. Exhale, lean back. Draw your legs together. Take a moment. Inhale. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Exhale. Coil back into your back body. Bring your forehead towards your knees. Let your head bow in. May we be humble enough to acknowledge where we're at in moments when we're struggling. Those moments when maybe we aren't doing better, but we do know to do better. To say I'm sorry, to forgive. And then lift your heart up as you take an inhale. And turn your hands back to the top of your mat as you exhale, coming around to all fours. Laying onto your back if you need to do thread the eye of the needle. Otherwise, left knee towards left wrist, pigeon pose, right toes. Check the right leg, scooch it back and make sure it's in line with right hip. Staying upright for a breath or two. Some days it's helpful if you do have a towel and your hips feel a little tight, and one side is always usually noticeably different than the first side. So I find instead of just putting a prop under one side, to slide it under the whole pelvis, it brings more evenness and balance. So that's helpful. Take your prop to do that. And then bowing down. 2 minutes, remember yogis, we're here 2 minutes. Love before me. Love behind me. Love to my left. Love to my right. Love above me. Love below me. Love unto me. Love in my surroundings. Love to all. Love to the universe. Slowly take your hands back under your shoulders, bringing your body upright. Lean a little to the left and swing your black leg around, coming to double pigeon. Right leg is now on top of left. You can always stay on your back, doing Gomukhasana, knee on top of knee, if this one isn't working either on the knees. Forgot to mention that on the first side. All right, this side's a little more open, and in my body, trying to think about how I can get that pelvis to tip. So if it's helpful, push into your hands, lift the hips, and try to send the groins back, and then set the pelvis back down. Good. Maybe stay up tall, close your eyes. We're here 2 minutes. The box breath may be helpful. You can bring that back in. Notice in your body that as you stay with it, it intensifies, and other days you may be in the space where you actually soften and it releases. There may be an element where you feel like you're kind of welcoming, feeling something in your body. It may be tightness, but it's something you get to feel, that you get to work with. One of the definitions of yoga is, of course, union and to yoke. But the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, also says that yoga is skill in action. It is taking action, and that can look different. It doesn't have to be one way. For some of us, it's using our voice or our presence in peaceful protest, or signing petitions, voting, becoming more educated, reading stories, learning more, sharing what you learn. Good, let's come back up. Ooh, 2-minute pigeon. It's double pigeon. Agni Stambhasana, fire log. Can we just say why we all know why it's called fire log. All right, Upavishta, one more time. Flex your feet. Start with your hands either behind you or in front of you, whichever feels more supportive in your body. Good. And then I want you to take your hands, if you're really tight, just keep them behind you. If you can, I want you to take them in front of you. Inhale tall. And now turn from the low belly. So low belly, belly button starts to turn. It's not because your hands are just pushing. So maybe you can try, look, Mom, no hands. Turn to the right, towards the right leg. And then begin to walk your hands forward toward that right leg. I like to bring my right forearm down my left hand. You can reach it. Maybe catch the outer ankle or foot. You could always use a strap here if you had it. And inhale, lift the heart. Try to take some of the right side of the belly back away from that right side. And then sweep as you exhale the left side of the belly towards your right inner thigh. If you're able to bend that left elbow a little, go ahead and do that. Bend it out away from your leg, away from your face. Good. And then bringing it up. Left arm reaches up. Hands either behind you or in front of you. Inhale. Start to turn the belly. As little of the hands in this initial turn as you can. So even though they may be down, see if you can initiate the action from within. It's quite difficult. And it isn't fast. Good. When you get to that point where you're in a good spot, start to walk the arms forward. Right toes are going to stay pointing up. I'm going to bring my left forearm down. You could always use a block or just stay on the hand if that's more comfortable. Right hand reaches to the outside of the foot. Take a breath. Push into that left hand or the left forearm. Breathe the left waistline back away from your right thigh. And as you exhale, soften. Release your back body towards your front body towards your leg, your heart reaching forward towards your toes. Bend that right elbow out to the right a little bit. You'll just get a little deeper of a stretch through the intercostal muscles, the serratus through the rib cage. Lovely. And then come back up. Hands behind the legs. Okay, here's what this last little part will look like. We're going to do a couple minutes of legs up the wall into a shavasana, and that together will be about 5 minutes, okay, total. And then we're going to come up to seated for a meditation at the end, okay? So that's where we're headed. So I'm going to take my blanket. If you don't have one, if you don't have one, that's totally okay. If you do have a wall, that's great. If you don't, you could also just do a supported shoulder stand here with a block. So you're going to set your hips up. I've got the blanket just a couple inches away from the wall, and then you're going to swivel up. Let's see if I can. I might do soles of the feet together. I don't think that painting would come down on me, but just in case. Most of you legs are going to go up the wall. So if you like, you could take the hands to the heart and one to the belly. Some days I like cactus arms. Again, your legs are up the wall. Mine are just doing this because I am having a moment that would, it's actually a quite heavy painting. I don't need to come down on me, so. Follow your breath. You do the best you can. And then when you know better, we do better. It's a nice time to remember some of that prayer of peace and light, the love before me, love behind me. You don't have to know it all, but just envisioning this great and vast amount of positive light and energy that surrounds you. Now you can stay legs up the wall if you like for your whole next few minutes instead of taking Shavasana. But if you'd like, let your legs now glide down, soles of your feet together, knees wide up the wall. And then gently use your hands to bring your knees together so that you can roll off to the side. And scoot your way onto your mat. Let your legs extend out. Arms by your sides, palms facing up. Love is above you. Love is below you. Love is surrounding you. Notice your connection to the earth, where your body ends on the back side and the earth begins. How the way when you inhale you can feel a greater connection to this meeting point. Start to move your fingers and your toes a little bit. Stretch your arms up and over your head. Place your feet to the floor and let's roll to the right side. Physically remembering as we go from corpse to the fetal position that each day, each moment, each breath is a chance for us to do what's right, to step into the moment. Use your hands to bring your body back upright. And then if you have a cushion for meditation or just a blanket, I want you to go ahead and grab that so that you're comfortable. You can even sit in a chair. If you're just hopping on live right now, welcome. You picked the perfect time. We're going to do a short compassion meditation. And these really can be a very healing practice, not only for ourselves, but to help heal the world when enough of us get together and we do them. So find a comfortable seat. You don't need any experience to do this meditation. Close your eyes. If you're sitting in a chair, your feet are flat on the floor. Draw your throat back. Your head is directly on top of the base of your spine. And if you want to take a mudra, you can bring your thumb and your thumb and pointer finger together. Gyan mudra. And as the eyes close, begin Begin to soften your breath a little bit. You don't need to force it. And I want you to imagine, if you can, imagine you are in a space, maybe one of your favorite spaces. Could be in your house, could be somewhere in the world. And I want you to imagine that as you are in this space, all of a sudden, the 8-year-old you appears. And you smile. And you say to each other, "May I be happy. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I be well in mind and body. And may I walk in peace. And I want the present moment of yourself to look at the 8-year-old version of yourself. And what would you say to him or her? What do you want her to know or him to know as they grow up? I want you to imagine leaning down and giving that version of yourself the biggest hug. And as that young version of you vanishes, I want you to sit down in that space. And now I want you to, we're going to repeat. And I want you to think of someone you love. You can imagine them sitting across from you, or you can just think of them right now. And say to them, may you be happy. May you be free from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in mind and body. And may you walk in peace. And as they slowly start to vanish, imagining now someone who's neutral. Maybe it's someone at the grocery store. Maybe it's the mail, the person who delivers your mail. Maybe it's a neighbor. Imagine looking into their eyes and saying, out of the deepest space of love in your heart, may you be happy. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in mind and body. And may you walk in peace. want you to imagine a difficult person, someone that you really struggle with. And it could be a specific individual, it could be more of a situation. And I want you to look them in the eye. I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to say, may I be happy, may you be happy. May you be free from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in mind and body. And may you walk in peace. And imagine that their face softens as you say this to them. Like they start to get it. And you start to get it, that they are hurting, and that may be why they've hurt you. Let's fold the hands in together at the heart. And you are welcome. I will go line by line saying this prayer of love and light. I will pause so that if you want to repeat it to yourself, you can. Love before me. Love behind me. Love to my left. Love to my right. Love above me. Love below me. Love unto me. Love in my surroundings. Love to all. Love to the universe. Bringing thumbs up to third eye. Do the best you can, yogis, until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. Namaste. Thank you. If you would share anything that might be helpful for us, as I mentioned earlier, in the comments below, that'd be awesome. If this resonated with you and you can share it with someone, please do. Share it with many, okay? I thank you for practicing today. Keep doing these practices. Keep showing up for yourself. It's the best work that we can do. I truly believe that. Yoga is skill in action. So here we go, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was my honor to be with you. Obviously, an emotional meditation for all of us. And if nothing came up, that's okay too. But those are important and not always easy. So thank you for being brave and taking this seat today with me. So thank you. Have an awesome day, you guys.